Hey everyone, welcome to the Chatbox where we discuss everything beauty, health, and wellness. It is your co-host Tiffany.
And my name is Shayla, and I'm so excited to be back on the Chatbox.
Yes, I am so glad that we decided to bring it to the screen. So we are bringing you all a new format, and we hope our listeners and our viewers love it.
Absolutely. How you feeling today?
I am good.
Good.
Well rested. I got my full 8 hours.
That's good. Gotta have that. I gotta have that.
Yeah, but you look super cute.
Oh, thank you. So do you, per usual.
Okay, you have to
Always
represent
good.
for the first episode. Okay.
Y'all usually be up in here looking, coming with pajamas on. Like, no, I'm kidding. I don't have pajamas, but workout gear.
That's normal around here.
Totally. So in the Chatbox, we're starting this new thing where we're going to start talking about some hot topics at the beginning of the episode. So whatever's trending, whatever's happening, we're going to chat about.
Absolutely. And we're going to definitely give our 2 cents. And we definitely want you all to add your 2 cents in the comments.
For sure. So let's get into this first one. Y'all know Meta always be into some stuff. So they have, states are suing Meta for allegedly purposely using tactics to addict teens and children to the Instagram and Facebook platform. Really, Meta? How you feel about that? Do you think that Instagram and Facebook's affecting the mental health of our young?
Is it? Absolutely. It absolutely is. I just know that the youth today are exposed to so much so fast, and it can be overwhelming, and they are seeing different things that I didn't see growing up, right?
Yeah.
And so they just have everything at the palm of their hands now. And I definitely feel that that is affecting them mentally because they are trying to strive for things that may seem like perfection. You know, they may seem like they're not good enough because they're not getting enough likes on social media. So, girl, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's scary because, I mean, even I found myself getting addicted. Like, I had to turn off my notifications because they try to reel you back in when you're...
Girl, you over here waking up in the morning going right to the gram.
Definitely, I think at home it's important to also just, teach your kids to, take breaks, let them know, what's healthy and what's not as far as social media use. What do you think?
Absolutely. I agree with that. So next we have an Instagram. I think this thing went viral basically, right? And we found this on the Shade Room, which is one of my little favorite resources to getting all the tea. But basically there was a wife and her husband, and she was basically pampering her man, right? So she was giving him the full facial, shaving him, massaging his beard hairs.
She was giving him
washing his hair. So do you think we are doing too much for our men now, or is that to be expected?
I don't know about it being expected. I mean, I think that it's cool that she's pampering her man, that she's, giving him this little spa treatment. I think it becomes a problem when they start expecting it. Like, don't be coming home and be like, you gonna give me my spa treatment? Or why you didn't give me my spa treatment?
I'm like, baby, you is not a client, okay? You are not a client.
No, this is at the kindness of my heart.
Exactly. Let me do this because I want to do it. Don't require me to do it. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's get into our next hot topic.
Okay.
Which we're talking about. The FDA is banning the use of relaxers. Whew, that's a big one. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's fair to ban relaxers for everybody?
Girl, this is just too much for me. Like the FDA, there are bigger fish to fry than worrying about relaxers. Like they've been available for years, decades, right? But now all of a sudden it's an issue. And it's really because Black women are the ones using the relaxers, right? So, but I do understand there are cases and studies that are bringing that to cases of respiratory breathing issues, and then as far as cancer and things like that. Yeah. So I can see where they may want to step in, but then also let us choose what we want to do with our hair.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we have the information and we know that, hey, you could get cancer from this.
Just like the warning that they put on cigarettes, right? Can cause cancer. Yeah. Do that and then let the consumer choose if they want to indulge.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to get into our topic for the day, which is you are not the type. So I'm so excited for this episode because y'all know there's been so much tea and drama in the natural hair community about hair typing and whether or not it's helpful or is it a little controversial? So just to get in the history of hair typing and where it came from, Oprah Winfrey's hairstylist came on the show. His name's Andre Walker. He came on the show in the 1990s and pretty much came up with this whole system of a hair type. Mind you, he's doing this to promote his products.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug, Mr. Walker.
And the whole system it starts from like type 1 to 4. And he goes through just talking about, and then there's also subcategories within the types. So, yeah.
So I believe there are charts available online that you can use, right, to determine what your texture is. So like Shayla was mentioning, there's the type 1 through type 4, and then there's like 1A, 1B, 1C, and it goes all the way down to 4A, 4B, 4C. So I believe it's straight to wavy, curly, and then coily, right? Those are the basics of it.
Yeah, so we can get into some of the pros and cons of it. We can start with the pros. I think some of the pros would be that, hey, sometimes I need to figure out get a general idea of what my texture is so that I can find the right products for me. So I'm looking at people who have similar hair type as I do. I'm looking for those products. I think it could be helpful in that sense. And then some of the cons, what do you think some of the cons would be?
Some of the cons would be making you feel inferior to another hair type. So I do know that a lot of brands are starting to create more products that will fit everyone on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of layer on different products to kind of help with your texture. But I know for the longest, type 4 felt left out for the longest. And it's probably been over the last maybe 5 years have there been lines created strictly for type 4 hair.
Mm-hmm. And it's getting better. People are getting more knowledgeable. So we're gonna get to a game. Okay, so for this game, our producer is gonna show us pictures of our Batman Pajama influencers, and our job is to guess their hair type. And whoever gets the most guesses wins.
Okay, well let me go ahead and get this 100.
Let's start.
Cause I'm about to win.
Hey, you never know.
Okay, so it looks like we have our first image. I'm gonna give it a 4A.
I'm gonna go 3C. All right, next up. Let's see.
Dun, 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 dun. We ain't got all day.
They all got the same hair type.
Of course, it'd be the same ones. She is not no 4B.
She is
not a 4B.
I've seen her videos a lot, so
Is that a wig?
No, that's her hair.
That is not no 4B.
Listen, you lost this.
That is 3C 4A. Absolutely. I can definitely see the 4A, but that's 3C 4A. But go ahead.
All right, next up.
It's the same.
I know, it's the same thing. But just for the sake. Oh, wait, what?
Okay, well, we get a little razzle dazzle in here.
Dropping my cards and stuff.
Man, cheated. That girl lied about her texture.
I'm dropping the cards. Okay, man, what if you identify it?
Man. Some of these girls don't even know their own hair type.
What if you identify it?
Lying to these people. I knew I had that 100. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, since we just looked at models, well, not models, but our Batman pajamas and their hair types, what would you consider your hair type to be?
I would definitely say I'm 4B, 4C, for sure. I think somewhere at the top, I'm a little bit more 4C. In the back, it's very 4B.
That's right.
What about you?
That's okay. I am a 4A, 3C. And similar to you, I'm a little bit looser texture here and in the back, and then around the crown area, it's a little bit, more
It's always
power
the
to the
crown.
people. Of course. But that just goes to show that there are multiple textures in everyone's head. And it's not one size fits all when it comes to defining your actual texture.
So let's get into the real MVP, hair porosity.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
So what is porosity?
Hair porosity is how well your hair absorbs moisture or water and how well it retains that moisture and water. And it is in 3 levels. We have the high porosity, low porosity, and normal porosity.
If you normal, don't comment. No, kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it's more common for people to be high or low, and that's based on their hair follicles, on their hair shaft, and also it could be related to your diet. It could be related to if your hair is processed, if your hair is dyed. So those factors play a lot into the porosity of your hair.
Yeah, so I know that like last year when my hair was dyed and bleached, it was definitely high porosity because I had bleached it. So that makes sense. But now I'd say that it's low porosity. Just because I've noticed certain characteristics, like whenever I get in the shower, it takes a minute for my hair to get wet and things like that.
Right. So let's kind of break that down for the people, right? So for the people that don't know, even though I mentioned high, low, and normal, high porosity means your hair soaks up so much water and moisture, and your hair follicles are open that it escapes quickly, right? So your hair can seem a little bit drier faster, drinks up product. You may feel like you need to be heavy-handed with your product when it comes to high porosity.
And then low porosity takes a little bit of time to absorb the actual moisture in water, but once it does, it retains it a lot easier. So typically, once you get that moisture in, you're well moisturized, but you can also have a little buildup because I know when I put products on my hair, it takes a while for it to absorb. Sometimes it doesn't absorb; it just sits on top of the hair strand.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what do you think are some good products to use for high?
So for high porosity, a lot of women prefer heavier creams and thicker butters, right? Because they want to pack as much moisture in and allow it to stay in without escaping. So you may reach for like the extra butter from Uncle Funky's Daughter. That's a little bit thicker. You may want a creamy leave-in instead of a spray leave-in. So you'll opt for the good hair from Uncle Funky's instead of the Midnight Train.
And so for low porosity hair, typically products are more slippery and have a little bit of slip to it. So for example, Curly Magic's a good gel for people with low porosity hair. And also like products like Super Curl, because it's a little bit more slippery than extra butter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But also remember, just like we talked about the different textures in the hair, sometimes those textures may have different porosity levels. So you may need to apply different products in certain areas to kind of get a more uniform look.
Lord.
Yeah. It's real out here.
Yeah. So just pay attention to your hair. I think that's the best option. Pay attention to your hair and different parts of your hair and what absorbs moisture, in different kinds of ways.
And yeah, so that goes to like practicing different layering options. So like y'all remember, what was it like 10 years ago? The lock method and the LCO method was so popular. So you may want to revisit those if you're having trouble retaining moisture or getting moisture to come inside of your hair. So those are just things to look at as well.
But if you do want to test your porosity, there are some little tests out there.
Yes, girl. Yes, there is a test. Well, there's a few tests.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. But I know one of them is the water test, right? So you have lukewarm room temperature.
Yes. Don't be putting no cold water or no hot water. Yeah.
Take a strand of your hair from like your brush or something. Make sure that it's clean hair though, not dirty hair. Put it in the water. If it floats, you're low porosity. If it's kind of floats in the middle, then you are normal, medium porosity. And if
That's it. But you can also consult your stylist, right? Because they are the experts. So they're in your head, right? So they can tell you, girl, you're high porosity. Like your hair is soaking up this water and moisture. Or they can tell you that you're low because it's hard for the water to get in.
Yeah, so I think we had some good we had a little good episode. Some nice
Absolutely.
information. Hopefully you all take notes. Comment down below what you think your porosity is, or if you know your porosity.
And your hair texture.
Absolutely.
Because we know we seen that some of these girls don't even know what their own texture is.
Hey, they identified. So with that being said, thank you all so much for joining this episode of the Chatbox. We're so excited for everything. You all make sure that you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and also click the link, and comment.
Absolutely. And so we're going to catch you all in the next episode.
Bye, y'all. Bye.